driving on Saddle Road, Big Island. I'm sitting here thinking, and I told this to a couple people before, but I never really been much into social media or any of that, but I felt it on my heart to share this. So I'm sure most of you have heard about flat Earth, whether it's round or flat. And truth is nobody really knows, right? Unless you've seen it, right? Unless you've seen it from space or whatever. Fact is that none of us know, right? And I'm going to go a little bit into religion, right? But we're going to keep it logical, whether you believe in religion or not. Okay, so I know this may seem, kind of crazy at first, but just bear with me, because I really do speak in logic when I talk about things, and I see it from everybody's perspective. At least I try to. So here we go. So if the Earth is round, right, as we've been taught since the beginning of time, right, as modern history goes, if the Earth is round, logically speaking, God can or can't exist in it, right? If the Earth and space and everything is as we know it, God could exist, God couldn't exist, right? It's a logical thing to say. None of us really know. We've never seen him. We have faith, right? And I won't get into my own personal beliefs, but people have faith. So inside of that, everybody knows what they tell us Earth is like. Now, if we consider that Earth is flat, right? I've heard some of the theories, the ice wall and the firmament and all these things. I've heard about all this. And I've got to ask you, if the Earth is flat, right, and there is an ice wall and a firmament or whatever, what's beyond that, right? Because you guys say that the Earth is flat and the government is hiding it from us, etc., right? So if it is flat and there is this firmament, what's beyond that? Like, you know what I mean? You can't just have nothing, right? If you get to a wall, the wall, like, existence doesn't just stop there. There's something beyond that, If there's an ice wall, how many feet of ice is it, and then what's beyond that ice? Or if there's a firmament, some globe in the sky, what's beyond that, right? And let's think logically. It has to be something, right? There has to be something past that. And so if there is something past that, well, then that's just space, right? As we know it. That's what we call something that is just empty space. You know what I mean? That's why we call it space. So if it is just space and it just goes on, and whether or not there's other planets and all this, doesn't matter. But it would technically go on forever, logically speaking. How we perceive, things. There can't just be nothing. Even if we were in a simulation, right? Whatever kind of crazy theories there are. Okay, what's outside of the simulation? Oh, is it just more planets and they're in a simulation? Like, it's got to keep going on and on and on, right? There has to always be something, some empty space, right? More. So you can't just stop and then there's just no existence beyond that, logically speaking, right? So then if that's true, right? If the Earth is flat and then we just get past whatever and it's just more space, then what's the whole point of it? Why would the government lie to us? Then we're pretty much at the same thing. Whether the Earth is flat or round, we still just go on for eternity with empty space, infinite amount of space. So ask yourself, what would be the purpose of it? Okay, there is none, right? Unless somebody can tell me. But I do have a theory. If the Earth is flat, if it is flat, and there is nothing beyond that wall, there's nothing. There's only one logical explanation for that, and that fact is that God exists. A God would be the only thing that could just pass what we know. It's just nothing. It's heaven. It's God's, it's God, right? God is the only thing, that's the only logical explanation. If we had a wall that just simply stopped, You know what I mean? There was no space beyond that, nothing like that. When we look up in the sky and we see the stars and the moon, it's just like an art picture for God, right? Think about this, you know? It's just there. There's no logical explanation for the sun. There's no logical explanation for why the moon we can only see half of it, right? All those things you guys talk about with flat earth. There is no logical explanation for it other than God simply put it there, and it's like a beautiful thing for us to stare at because beautiful it is, you know? So if the earth is flat, I believe that proves God's existence, and that is why it's hidden from us. If you think logically about things, that's the only thing that makes sense, right? God is the only thing that could possibly do that, right? If God didn't exist, and we are, whatever theory, you come up with, technically space still has to go on forever. We can't just have nothing. It has to go on and on and on. And then, again, I asked, what's the point of hiding Earth being flat or round or whatever if outside of the Earth is the same thing? You get what I'm saying? So I believe that if the Earth is flat, it proves God's existence. I want you guys to think about that. If you've got this far, thanks for watching my first social media video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day.